Hello, my name is Joshua Adams, and I'll be introducing our PROF 504 inquiry project for Group 19 Intermediate Senior Music. We start with looking at the traditional music classroom, with a lot of band instruments, conducting orchestral or jazz pieces, and having a lot of music theory and practice in the lessons. Now we look at the modern music industry, and we see a lot of live performances by small bands, singer-songwriters, DJs, recording, editing, mixing, that sort of stuff. And so we want to ask, where do they meet? Because we find a lot of students often ask, how is what I'm learning applicable in the real world? And on the teacher side of things, there's not enough time, funding, or resources to do both. So how can we better prepare and engage students in the modern music industry while maintaining traditional and curriculum guidelines?
Integrating technology into the traditional music classroom. One of the main problems in these cases is the lack of time. Options to record a playing test using a multitude of available recording apps would limit student stress as well as offer more time in the classroom for playing. Submitting them through email, Dropbox, Google Classroom, or any other D2L platform would minimize the student's stress of a live performance while offering the teacher the benefits of utilizing class time more efficiently. A resource like Bacardi Learning is a website that is worth a small investment on the school's part. It allows students to practice ear training, rhythmic dictation, sight singing, and other theory practices on their own to allow them every chance of success. These are just some of the options available to help improve classroom efficiency as well as fairness for all students.
Now in this section, we're going to cover what's called a DAW, or a digital audio workstation. Now in general, a DAW is simply an application that you use to manipulate music or audio recordings. And the DAW that I'm using today is called Logic Pro X, but there are so many DAWs available out there, such as GarageBand, FL Studio, and schools can kind of choose what the most appropriate option is depending on their circumstances. Now, the first feature that we're going to go through is recording, and that's done by pressing the red circle at the top. And this is a file that I already recorded, and students can kind of use this, as Melanie mentioned, to submit as playtests. But they can also manipulate that recording by playing around with traditional music theory elements such as dynamics, so playing that audio back softer and louder. Another really neat thing that you can do with DAWs is that you can play around with different timbres, or in other words, instruments, without schools actually purchasing those instruments, which can amount to an absurd amount of money. So all you have to do is plug in an electronic keyboard, so it's one small purchase, and you download electronic kind of instruments. We call them VSTs, virtual instruments, that emulate that instrument that you download. So here I have a grand piano, an acoustic guitar, and drums.
Another solution that we came up with to support student and teacher learning in both traditional and more modern facets of music is LinkedIn Learning, which is an extension of the social media platform LinkedIn. This platform does require an account, and so school boards would need to purchase licenses for their organization, but it provides an extensive database of resources in a far-reaching span of subjects, all taught by professionals in those fields. Through this platform, students and teachers can access material to support curriculum expectations like music theory, as well as foster interests in other musical ideas like mixing and recording.
In conclusion, we'd like to come back to our original goals, and we can confidently say that the technology shared can be used to teach students recording and digital audio production techniques, facilitate practice using DAWs and help students create their own music, and record playing tests through these modes, all on time and monetary constraints. Thank you very much for listening, and we hope to see more technology in the music classroom.